So today I want to talk about studios. To me, there are two different types of studios. There's the photographer who has a studio, and then there's the studios like the J.C. Penney and the type that they have in the mall. So let's start with the first one. I don't think there's anything wrong with a photographer who has a studio. To me, I'm kind of on the fence about having a studio. Having a space to just set everything up and not having to move it around and just having people come to you to do the photographs has an appeal, but exactly for those reasons. It's a place where I could set up and not have to break down, and people would come to me. But honestly, I'm very passionate about people getting photographs of themselves. I love taking pictures of people, I love sharing them. Um, there's a restaurant that I used to go to, and I would take photographs of the waitresses and then print them out, a little 4x6. I've got printers here at the studio, and I would just go through and make those photographs available to them. So that way they had a little picture of themselves. Now, I didn't charge for it. I didn't use them in marketing or anything else. It was just a great way to put them out there. If they said I could use them, that's another thing entirely, but that's not the way I went into it. I just wanted to make sure that they had a good photograph of themselves. And if they wanted it digitally, I would kick it over to them as well. So, that said, I want to go where the person needs me to go to get that photograph. If I need a place to shoot, there's always hotel rooms and things like in rental spaces. They can be used for those purposes. As a matter of fact, there's an entire industry around renting studios or renting really cool venues to take pictures in. And that is something that could be possibly near your location so that you're not traveling a great distance to come get your photographs taken. I'm in southern Vermont, which for a lot of people would be quite a bit of travel. But beyond that, I think that people feel very comfortable in their homes, right? Someplace you're there all the time. And if we're doing a boudoir shoot, maybe you feel most comfortable doing it there, right? If not, there's always the option of using a hotel room or one of these other venues that has something available. Again, making sure that it's something close to you so you're not traveling a great distance. I want you to have the art, and I want it to be as stress-free and as easy as possible for you to get these photographs. So that's why I do it this way. I don't think there's anything wrong with a photographer who has a studio and has people come to them. If that's what you want to get done, then by all means, that's the way you should go. But then there's the other type of studios, like the J.C. Penney's and the mall studios. And quite honestly, they're there for the purpose of being like an assembly line, right? They have several things set up. They have different backgrounds set up at some of the studios that I've seen. Oh, it's fall, so we have all these fall backgrounds set up. You come in, they stick you in front of a backdrop, they take your picture, and I think in a lot of instances you walk away with the pictures. Now, it's been a while since I was at a J.C. Penney and even saw how they operated. But I remember back when they had film, you had to wait for the photos to be processed and printed, and then you'd go pick them up. Now, with it all being digital, I don't know if that's still the same. I would think that they have everything right there and you can walk out the door with them. But again, they're not doing anything to retouch the photographs. They're not doing anything really to make them look better. They might be throwing a preset on them to make the colors pop or pull the contrast up or something like that, or worse, they're just shooting JPEGs and just printing out whatever the camera thinks looks good. It's a snapshot that you could have gotten from your phone. So, obviously, I have a problem with those kind of studios. I really think that you deserve a photograph that somebody took as much care into making that photograph look its best as you took into getting prepared for the photo shoot. I don't care how many photographs are taken, I don't think that a photographer should spend less time processing and printing the photographs than you did to get ready for the photo shoot. To me, it seems a little disrespectful to just crank people out the door. And I know some photographers do it, and they charge incredibly low fees for it, $100, $200. Nope, don't charge that myself. To send you out with digitals, a little USB or something like that they paid $5, $10 for, and they've got digitals on it, and they're done. No retouching, just camera to the USB, and out the door it goes. You could have done that with selfies. I mean, if you really want to get it done, give your camera to give a camera or give your phone to somebody, and you're going to get almost the same thing. And I say almost because some of these are decent photographers, but they've fallen in love with this concept of doing hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shoots in a year just to pay their bills, and just cranking out these little USBs and not worrying about the individual portraits that they generate. I don't care if I'm being paid or if I'm doing it because I want to do it for somebody. I always take the time to go back through that photograph and make sure it looks fantastic. The contrast is right, the colors pop, it's properly formatted for the photographic paper that it's going to be printed on, that it comes out looking the way I want it to look, as if it were something that I wanted to have done. And yes, that means that sometimes I redo all my work. Sometimes I just look at what I've done and don't like it at all and toss it and start over again, which is one of the reasons why I don't do a lot of photographs together in a row that I don't put aside to go look over again later on. And that's because you can just get this image in your head that these are going to look fantastic, and you just keep cranking through and they all look kind of the same color balance and everything else, and you get done and you look at it the next day and you're like, I went too heavy on contrast. I should have made this photograph a little brighter. I should back the colors off here just a little bit. Maybe drop the saturation down and pull the vibrance up to pull those background colors up and make those a little sharper. Things like that I'll look at later on. This is after taking 15 plus minutes to get the photograph looking the way I wanted it to in the first place. So when you're looking for a place to have your photographs done, find out which kind of studio it is. Is it just a photographer who likes to have everybody come to their spot where they feel comfortable and they've got their stuff all set up so they can take good pictures? Or is it just one of these ones who cranks out photographs and goes on their way? So that's what I got for you this week. I hope you got something out of this, and I'll talk to you guys next week.